So give Fiona a huge, huge, huge round of applause. Welcome, Fiona.
So, if I held the key to a worry-free life, how many of you would like to take it home with you by a show of hands? Yes, I thought so. So I wonder, how many of you might recognize this? Does my bum look big in this? When I get on stage, will they boo and hiss? Or will I forget my words? Or feel like a nerd? Or just plain tremble with nerves? Did I remember to lock the front door? Close the windows, all four? And will my mum be okay with the kids? Because she always says yes. But I can't tell if it's bliss or she really thinks I'm taking the piss. I just want to do something of worth, to spread love and understanding in this world that's fast fading under the great misunderstanding that our experience comes from something outside of us. Can the world please stop? Stop, just for a moment, just for one moment. Let me get out of this torment. Let the voices lay off, turn off this chitter-chatter, mental clatter, constant natter going on inside my head all day long and all night long in bed, filling me with dread for the coming of the day. If only. If I could only get some peace, I would not be lonely. So how many of you recognize some of those worries in the first few lines of my poem? By a show of hands. Yeah. And how many of you have those worries about coming up here and standing, telling your story on stage? By a show of hands. Yeah, it feels a bit vulnerable, doesn't it? A bit vulnerable, a bit exposed. 12 years ago, pretty much to the day, I sat in front of a doctor and heard the word cancer for the first time. Instantaneously, I became a member of a club I had no intention of joining. And that labelled me. And also, the subscription fee was worry, worry, and you've guessed it, more worry. But to be honest, I pretty much paid my subscription dues before that day, well before that day. I lived a life of worry of not being good enough, not being worthy of love, letting my parents down, being a failure at work, not smart enough, strong enough, good enough, courageous enough. Yeah, you name it. And I was bullied many times. So, that was 12 years ago. But in the last 2 years, I've really learned to see where my experience of life is coming from. And I've been through a change that's taught me cancer is not the enemy. In fact, cancer is a godsend from my own wisdom, my own internal wisdom, that gave me that kick up the arse that I needed to do something, to take notice of something transformational and yet really, really, really simple, that's turned my life upside down and inside out, literally. Because what I've been learning over the last 2 years and what I'm now sharing with my clients is to let nature take its course. Let the self-correcting system self-correct. My soul to reconnect, for peace to take effect. Get back to who I really am. The being inside this physical me, the one who sees everything, the one gifted with thought, this one who gets to create her own separate reality. And just because I'm so passionate about this, I've put together a workshop to share with everyone, anyone who wants to come and join me, this transformational journey of how to get really in touch with what creates your experience, and how to get back in touch with that wisdom that gives you the peace, joy, and health in your life. And I have some goodies, which I can't tell you about because he's rung the bell.
Come and talk to Fiona afterwards about her goodies. Huge, huge round of applause. I am blown away. Beautiful. Woo! And as well as having your appreciation and my appreciation, you get feedback of all sorts of goodies from our judges.
So this is my personal view. Sometimes as a voice coach or a performance coach, you have a moment where you go, "This is really good." You know, I can't really offer anything that would make that better for me. There was something incredibly soft and engaging and open and sincere for me, personally. Except there is just one slight thing. Because you've created a piece of poetry, which is a performance, I felt that an opening piece of poetry didn't quite have the sincerity and the heart that the last bit of performance poetry had. Because you'd gone through your story and connected with us heart to heart, the last bit of poetry was not like a performance at all. It was completely from the heart. And that's really hard to do at the top of the speech when you're cold in front of the audience, because it's more of a performance. If all you need to do is know that, and next time you do that, it will be completely from heart. It was just a tad thought through and rehearsed, and all you need to do to improve upon that is just hear that and just know it, and then next time it will be from totally, because the last bit was so spontaneous and really hit me there. And it's really hard to open with a performance piece at the top of a speech, because like I said, you're kind of cold there just starting. So like I said, all you need to do is just know that, and it will be. But that's such a small thing that I'm picking up on. It was so inspiring just to hear your story, and it made me really emotional. So thank you.
Ooh. I'm going to throw it out there and say I do the whole thing in poetry. Performance poetry, especially in video, is really powerful. A lot of people are whacking out motivational videos left, right and centre, not looking at I'll be here all day moaning about the crap that people put out, right? But do you know Prince, I don't know how you say his surname, Prince Air, it's E-A, Prince Air. Look him up, his work is fantastic. He does a lot of, it's all motivational, he's a bit of a beat poet, performance artist. He's got a fantastic balance of delivering content in that lyrical way with music underneath. He's done some epic pieces that a lot of money's been invested in. He's also got some real basic pieces where he's in a real basic, it looks like student digs, but it works. And I think you could really take a lot of your talent to video to reach a big audience. It's great on stage, but with my background being television and video and that kind of communication, look at motivational beat poets and performers and see what they're doing, because there's some crackers out there, and you could definitely be doing that. That's my little thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I kind of sometimes don't enjoy giving a critical feedback, because I feel like I just loved it so much, and I feel like sometimes when I give a critical feedback, it ruins my love of it. But I can only give critical feedback like that when I just think someone is so wonderful that I just think it's just my idea anyway, it's just my opinion, that I just feel that if that one thing might just lift it even more. So just so you know, that little bit of critical feedback was because I think you're so amazing, and that I just think that would enhance it. That's all.
Well, I only had 5 minutes. If I had longer, you'd have got the whole poem. So I will post the whole poem for you on the group.
Please.
Cool.
Thank you very much. Maybe in video at some point.
Oh, it is in video already. I've got a professional video.
Great.
And I've been asked to give them the words for an annual publication as well.
Cool.
So a huge, huge, huge round of applause for Fiona Wright.